Mullah Nasruddin was in love with a woman. And as women are prone to ask, the woman asked when Mullah Nasruddin kissed her, "Are you kissing me?" The first woman, am I the first woman whom you are kissing? Is your first kiss given to a woman? Nasruddin said, yes, the first and the most sweetest. Comparison is in your blood. You cannot remain with a thing as it is. The woman is also asking for a comparison. Otherwise, why be worried about whether this is a first kiss or second? Each kiss is fresh and virgin. It has no relationship with any other kiss of the past or of the future. Each kiss is an existence in itself. It exists alone in its solitariness. It is a peak in itself. It is a unit, not in any way connected with the past or with the future. Why ask whether it is the first? And what beauty the first carries? And why not the second? And why not the third? But the mind wants to compare. Why the mind wants to compare? Because through comparison, ego is fed. That I am the first woman. This is the first kiss. You are not interested in the kiss, in the quality of the kiss. This moment, the kiss opened a door of heart. You are not interested in that. That is nothing. You are interested whether it is a first or not. The ego is always interested in comparison. And existence knows no comparison. And people like Heraclitus, Patanjali, they live in existence, not in mind. Don't compare them. Many people come to me and they say that who is great, Buddha or Christ? What foolishness to ask. Buddha is greater than Christ and Christ is greater than Buddha, I say to them. Why you go on comparing? A subtle thing is there working. If you are a follower of Christ, you would like Christ to be the greatest, because you can only be great through if Christ is the greatest. It is a fulfillment of your own ego. How can your master be not the greatest? He has to be, because you are such a great disciple. If Christ is not the greatest, then Christians, where they will be? If Buddha is not the greatest, then what will happen to the ego of the Buddhist? Every race, every religion, every country thinks itself to be the greatest. Not because any country is great, not because any race is great. In this existence, everything is the greatest. The existence creates only the greatest. Every being unique. But that doesn't appeal to the mind, because then greatness is so common. Everybody great. then what is the use of it? Somebody has to be lower. A hierarchy has to be created. Just the other night I was reading a book of George Mikes, and he said that in Budapest, in Hungary, where he is born, one English woman fell in love with him. In Hungary, an English woman fell in love with him. But he was not much in love. But he didn't want to be rude also. So when she asked that not be get married, he said it will be difficult because my mother will not allow me and will not be happy if I marry a foreigner. The English lady was very much offended. She said, what? I and a foreigner? I am not a foreigner. I am English. You are foreigners. And your mother too. Mike said that in Budapest, in Hungary, I am a foreigner. The woman said, yes, truth does not depend on geography. Everybody thinks that way. The mind tries to fulfill its desires to be the supreme most from religion, race, country, everything. One has to be watchful, very watchful. Only then you can get beyond this subtle phenomena of the ego. Heraclitus, Christ and Zen make the final step seem close. Patanjali makes even the first step seem almost impossible because it is both. He is closer than the closest, and he is farther than the farthest, says the Upanishad. He is both near and far. He has to be, because who will be far then? And he has to be near also, because who will be near you? He touches your skin and he is spread beyond the boundaries. He is both. Heraclitus emphasizes the nearness because he is a simple man. And he says he is so near, nothing is needed to do to bring him nearer. He is almost there. He is just watching at the gate, knocking at your door, waiting near your heart. Nothing is to be done. You simply be silent and have a look. Just sit silently and look. You have never lost him. The truth is near. In fact, to say it is near is wrong, because you are also truth. Even nearness seems to be very, very far. Even nearness shows that there is a distinction, a distance, a gap. Even that gap is not there. You are it, says the Upanishad. Thou art that Tattvamasi Svetketu. You are already that. Even that much distance is not there to say that he is close. Because Heraclitus and Zen, they want you to take the jump immediately, not wait. Patanjali says he is very far. He is also right. He is very far also. And he will appeal you more. Because if he is so close and you have not attained him, you will feel very, very depressed. If he is so close just by the side of the corner, just standing by the side of you, if he is the only neighbor, and from everywhere he surrounds you, and you have not achieved, your ego will feel very, very frustrated. Such a great man like you, and he is so near and you are missing. That seems very frustrating. But if he is very far, then everything is okay. Because time is needed, effort is needed. Nothing is wrong with you, he is so far away. Distance is such a vast thing. You will take time, you will go, you will move, and one day you will achieve. If he is near, then you will feel guilty. Then why you are not achieving him? Reading Heraclitus and Baso and Buddha, one feels uncomfortable. Never that happens with Patanjali. One feels at ease. Look at the paradox of the mind. With the easiest of people, one feels uncomfortable. Uncomfort comes from you. To move with Heraclitus or Jesus is very uncomfortable because they go on insisting that the kingdom of God is within you. And you know that nothing exists except a hell within you. And they insist the kingdom of God is within you. It becomes uncomfortable. If the kingdom of God is within you, then something is wrong with you. Why you cannot see it? And if it is so present, why not it can happen right this moment? That is the message of Zen, that it is immediate. There is no need to wait. No need to waste time. It can happen right now. This very moment. There is no excuse. This makes uncomfortable. You feel uncomfortable. You cannot find any excuse. With Patanjali, millions of excuses you can find. That he is very far. Millions of lives' effort is needed. Yes, it can be attained, but always in the future. You are at ease. There is no urgency about it. And you can be as you are right now. Tomorrow morning you will start moving on the path, and then the tomorrow never comes. Patanjali gives you a space, future. He says, do this and that, and by you will reach someday. Nobody knows. In some future life, you are at ease. No urgency. You can be as you are. There is no hurry. These Zen people, they drive you crazy. And I drive you more crazy. Because I talk from both the sides. This is just a way. This is a koan. This is just a way to drive you crazy. Heraclitus I use, Patanjali I use. These are tricks to drive you crazy. You simply cannot be allowed to relax. Whenever there is future, you are okay. Then the mind can desire God. And nothing is wrong with you. The very phenomena is such that it will take time. This becomes an excuse. With Patanjali you can postpone. With Zen you cannot postpone. If you postpone, it is you who are postponing, not God. With Patanjali you can postpone because the very nature of God is such that it can be attained only in gradual ways. Very, very difficult. That's why with difficulty you feel comfortable. And this is the paradox. People who say it is easy, you feel uncomfortable. People who say difficult, you feel comfortable. It should be just the otherwise. And the truth is both. So it depends on you. If you want to postpone, Patanjali is perfect. If you want it here and now, then you will have to listen to Jain. And you will have to decide. Are you in an urgency? Have you not suffered enough? Do you want to suffer more? Then Patanjali is perfect. You follow Patanjali. Then somewhere in the distant future, you will attain to bliss. But if you have suffered enough, and this is what maturity is, to understand that you have suffered enough, and you call Heraclitus and Zain for children, kindergarten. This is the only maturity, to have realized that I have suffered enough. If you feel this, then an urgency is created. Then a fire is created. Something has to be done right now. You cannot postpone it. There is no meaning in postponing. You have postponed it already enough. But if you want future, you would like to suffer a little more, you have become addicted with the hell. Just one day more to remain the same. Or you would like some modifications. That's what Patanjali says. Do this, do that, slowly. Do one thing, then another thing, and millions of things have to be done, and they cannot be done immediately. So you go on modifying yourself. Today you take a vow that you will be non-violent. Tomorrow you will take another vow. Then day after tomorrow you will become a celibate, and this way it goes on. And then there are millions of things to be left. Lying is to be dropped. Violence is to be dropped. Aggression is to be dropped. Anger, hate, jealousy, possessiveness, millions of things you have by and by. And meanwhile you remain the same. How can you drop anger if you have not dropped hate? How can you drop anger if you have not dropped jealousy? How can you drop anger if you have not dropped aggressiveness? They are interrelated. So you say that now you will no more be angry. But what are you talking? Nonsense. Because you will remain hateful. You will remain aggressive. You will like to dominate. You love it to be at the top. And you are dropping anger. How you can drop it? They are interrelated. This is what Zen says, that if you want to drop, understand the phenomena that everything is related. Either you drop it now or you never drop it. Don't be fool. You can simply whitewash a little here, a patch there, and the old house remains with all its oldness. And while you go on working, painting the walls and filling the holes and this and that, you think you are creating a new life. And meanwhile you continue the same. And the more you continue, the more it becomes deep-rooted. Don't deceive. If you can understand, understanding is immediate. That is the message of Zen. If you cannot understand, then something has to be done, and Patanjali will be good. You follow Patanjali. One day or other, you will have to come to an understanding where you will see that this whole has been a trick of your mind to avoid the reality, to avoid and escape. And that day, suddenly you will drop. Patanjali is gradual, Zen is sudden. If you cannot be sudden, then it is better to be gradual. Rather than being nothing, neither this nor that, it is better. You be gradual. Patanjali will also bring you to the same situation. But he will give you a little space. It is more comfortable. Difficult, but more comfortable. No immediate transformation is demanded. And with gradual progress, mind can fit. Heraclitus, Christ and Jain make the final step seem close. Patanjali makes even the first step seem almost impossible. It seems like us Westerners have hardly begun to realize the amount of work that has to be done. It is up to you. If you want to do the work, you can do. If you want to realize without doing the work, that too is possible. That too is possible. It is up to you to choose. If you want to do hard work, I will give you hard work. I can create even more steps. Patanjali can be made even more long, stretched. I can put the goal even farther away. I can give you impossible things to do. It is your choice. Or if you want really to realize, then this can be done this very moment. It is up to you. Patanjali is a way of looking. Heraclitus is also a way of looking. Once it happened, I was passing through the street and I saw a small child eating a very big watermelon. The melon was too big for him. And I looked and I watched and I saw that he is finding a little difficulty to finish. So I asked him, I told him, it seems to be really too big. Isn't so? The boy looked at me and said, no, not enough me. He's also right. Everything can be looked from two standpoints. God is near and far. Now it is for you to decide from where you would like to take the jump, from the near or from the far. If you want to take the jump from the far, then come all the techniques, because they will take you far. From there you will take the jump. It is just like you are standing on this shore of the ocean. The ocean is here also, and there at the other shore also, which is completely invisible, very, very far away. You can take the jump from this shore, because it is the same ocean. But if you decide to take the jump from the other shore, Patanjali gives you a boat. The whole yoga is a boat to go to the other shore to take the jump. It is up to you. You can enjoy the journey. There is nothing wrong in it. I am not saying it is wrong. It is up to you. You can take the boat and go to the other shore and take the jump from there. But the same ocean exists. Why not take from this source? The jump will be the same, and the ocean will be the same, and you will be the same. What difference does it make to go to the other shore? There may be people on the other shore, and they may be trying to come here. There are also Patanjalis, they have made boats there. They are coming towards here to take the jump from the far away. It happened. One man was trying to cross a road, and it was a peak hour, and it was difficult to cross the road. So many cars going so fast. And he was a very, very mild man. He tried many times and then came back. Then he saw Mullah Nasruddin on the other side. Old acquaintance. He cried, Nasruddin, how you crossed the road? Nasruddin said, I never crossed. I was born on this side. There are people who are always thinking of the distant shore. The distant always looks beautiful. The distant has a magnetism of its own, because it is covered in mist. But the ocean is the same. It is up to you to choose. Nothing is wrong going to that ocean, but go for right reasons. You may be simply avoiding the jump from this shore, then even the boat leads you to the other shore. The moment you reach the other shore, you will start thinking of this shore, because then this will be the faraway point. And many times in many lives you have done this. You have changed the shore, but you have not taken the jump. I have seen you crossing the ocean from this side to that, and from that side to this, because this is the problem. That shore is far away because you are here. When you will be there, this shore will be far away. And you are in such a sleep that you completely forget again and again that you have been to that shore also. By the time you reach to the other shore, you have forgotten the shore that you have left behind. By the time you reach, oblivion takes over. You look to the distance, and again somebody says, here is a boat, sir. You can go to the other shore, and you can take the jump from there, because God is very, very far away. And you again start preparation to leave this shore. Patanjali gives you a boat to go to the other, but when you have reached to the other, Zen will give you always the jump. The final jump is of the Zen. Meanwhile, you can do many things, that is not the point. Whenever you will take the jump, it will be a sudden jump. It cannot be gradual. All gradualness is going from this shore to that. But nothing is wrong in it. If you enjoy the journey, it is beautiful. Because he is here, he is in the middle, he is at that shore also. No need to reach to the other shore also. You can take the jump in the middle also. Just from the boat. Then boat becomes the shore. From where you jump is the shore. Every moment you can take the jump, then it becomes the shore. If you don't take the jump, then it is no more the shore. It depends on you. Remember this well. That's why I am talking about all contradictory standpoints, so that you can understand from everywhere. And you can see the reality from everywhere, and then you can decide. If you decide to wait a little, beautiful. If you decide to take right now, beautiful. To me, everything is beautiful and great. And I have no choice. I simply give you all the choices. If you say, I would like to wait a little, I say, good. I bless you. Wait a little. If you say, I am ready and I want to jump, I say, jump with my blessings. For me, there is no choice, neither Heraclitus nor Patanjali. I am simply opening all the doors for you with the hope that you may enter some door. But remember the tricks of the mind. When I talk about Heraclitus, you think it is too vague, too mysterious, too simple. When I talk about Patanjali, you think it is too difficult, almost impossible. I open the door and you interpret something and you take a judgment and you stop yourself. The door is open not for you to judge. The door is open for you to enter. The second question. You talked of moving from faith to trust. How can we use the mind that swings from doubt to belief to go beyond these two polarities? Doubt and belief are not different. Two aspects of the same coin. This has to be understood first. Because people think that when they believe, they have gone beyond doubt. Belief is the same as doubt, because both are mind concern. Your mind says, argues, says no, finds no proof to say yes, you doubt. Then your mind finds arguments to say yes, proofs to say yes, you believe. But in both the cases, you believe in reason. In both the cases, you believe in arguments. The difference is just on the surface. Deep down, you believe in the reasoning. And trust is dropping out of reasoning. It is mad. It is irrational. It is absurd. And I say trust is not faith. Trust is a personal encounter. Faith, again, is given and borrowed. It is a conditioning. Faith is a conditioning. Parents, culture, society give you. You don't bother about it. You don't make it a personal concern. It is a given thing. And which is given and has not been a personal growth is just a facade, a false face, a Sunday face. On 6 days you are different. You enter church and you put on a mask. See how people behave in church. So gently, so humanly, The same people. Even a murderer comes to the church and prays, see the face. It looks so beautiful and innocent. And this man has killed. In church, you have a proper face to use, and you know how to use it. It has been a conditioning. From the very childhood it has been given to you. Faith is given. Trust is a growth. You encounter reality. You face reality. You live reality. And by you come to an understanding that doubt leads to hell, misery. The more you doubt, the more miserable you become. If you can doubt completely, you will be in a perfect misery. If you are not in a perfect misery, that is because you cannot doubt completely. You still trust. Even an atheist, he also trusts. Even a man who doubts that the world exists or not, he also trusts. Otherwise he cannot live. Life will become impossible. If doubt becomes total, you cannot live a single moment. How can you breathe in if you doubt? If you really doubt? Who knows the breath is not poisonous? Who knows millions of germs are not being carried into? Who knows cancer is not coming through the breath? If you really doubt, you cannot even breathe. You cannot live a single moment. You will die immediately. Doubt is suicide. But you never doubt perfectly, so you linger on. You linger on. You somehow drag on. But your life is not total. Just think, if total doubt is suicide, then total trust will be the absolute life possible. That's what happens to a man of trust. He trusts. And the more he trusts, the more he becomes capable to trust. And the more he becomes capable of trust, the more life opens. He feels more, he lives more, he lives intensely. Life becomes an authentic bliss. Now, he can trust more. Not that he is not deceived. Because if you trust, that doesn't mean that nobody is going to deceive you. In fact, more people will deceive you. Because you become vulnerable. If you trust, more people will deceive you. But nobody can make you miserable. That's the point to understand. They can deceive. They can steal things from you. They can borrow money and they will never return. But nobody can make you miserable. That becomes impossible. Even if they kill you, they cannot make you miserable. You trust. A trust makes you vulnerable, but absolutely victorious also. Because nobody can defeat you. They can deceive. They can steal. You may become a beggar, but still you will be an emperor. Trust makes emperors out of beggars, and doubt makes beggars out of emperors. Look at an emperor who cannot trust. He is always afraid. He cannot trust his own wife. He cannot trust his own children. Because a king possesses so much that the son will kill him, the wife will poison him. He cannot trust anybody. He lives in such a distrust. He is already in hell. Even if he sleeps, he cannot relax. Who knows what is going to happen? Trust makes you more and more open. Of course, when you are open, many things will become possible. When you are open, friends will reach to your heart. Of course, enemies will also can reach to your heart. The door is open. So there are two possibilities. If you want to be secure, you close the door completely, bolt it, lock it, and hide within. Now no enemy can enter, but no friend can enter also. Even if God comes, he cannot enter. Now nobody can deceive you. But what is the point? You are in a grave. You are already dead. Nobody can kill you, but you are already dead. You cannot come out. You live in security, of course, but what type of life is this? You don't live at all. Then you open the doors. Doubt is closing the door. Trust is opening the door. When you open the door, all the alternatives become possible. Friend may enter, foe may enter. Wind will come. It will bring the perfume of the flowers. It will also bring germs of diseases. Now everything is possible. The good and bad. Love will come, hate will also come. Now God can come, devil can also come. This is the fear that something may go wrong. So close the door. But then everything goes wrong. Open the door. Something is possible to go wrong. But for you nothing if your trust is total. Even in the enemy you will find the friend. And even in the devil you will find God. Trust is such a transformation that you cannot find the bad because your whole outlook has changed. That is the meaning of Jesus saying, love your enemies. How can you love your enemies? It has been a problem to be solved. An enigma for Christian theologians. How can you love your enemy? But a man of trust can do. Because a man of trust knows no enemies. A man of trust knows only the friend. In whatsoever form he comes, makes no difference. If he comes to steal, he is the friend. If he comes to take, he is the friend. If he comes to give, he is the friend. In whatsoever form he comes, it happened that Al-Mansur Hillas, a great mystic, a great Sufi, was murdered, killed, crucified. The last of his words were, he looked at the sky and he said, but you cannot deceive me. Many people were there. And Al-Hillas was smiling and he said towards the sky looking, you cannot deceive me. So somebody asked, what do you mean? To whom you are talking? He said, I am talking to my God. In whatsoever form you come, you cannot deceive me. I know you well. Now you have come as death. You cannot deceive me. A man of trust cannot be deceived. In whatsoever form, whosoever comes, it is always the divine coming to him. Because trust makes everything holy. Trust is an alchemy. It transforms not only you, it transforms for you the whole world. Wherever you look, you find him. In the friend, in the foe. In the night, in the day. Yes, Heraclitus is right. God is summer and winter, day and night. God is satiety and hunger. This is trust.